And we are live. Hello, fishy. Oh, yeah, music? There we go, of course. The classic. The classic. Well, enough stream. It's a good day to grind Mirrored Engine 3, I'd say. Might as well. Also, I think I... Currently finishing up something. Reconnection successful. Oh god. Just got a notification for being disconnected and being reconnected through OBS. Is everything working fine for you guys? I cannot tell. My connection seems bad today. A little bit worrying. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of an issue though. Yep, it seems fine. All right. Good to hear. But, I have in fact already maxed out the current starlight tree, funnily enough, so it's more so just grinding starlight in order to prepare for next week, I suppose. Hello, hello. Connecting, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? Thoughts on the new IDs? They look like they're... What do you... Okay. Give them for a good 3-star positive coin Sinclair. That's what it seems like it'll be. I think haste units are really fun. I really wish Mirrored Engine 3 was leaning more into them. It kind of is. There's a haste tier 4 ego gift, like the new, like, the statue one. Although there's not a lot of, like, tiers, like, 1 through 3 haste gifts to really, like, be able to focus on haste too much using Mirrored Engine stuff. Your best thing is, like, Curriculum Vitae or, the new, like, the lamp one. The rupture one you get from Dream Devouring Silk Current. I hope they add more haste stuff in the future. There's a very decent chance that these are going to be, like... I don't know. I'm not sure if they'd be anything beyond just haste, that's the thing. Mainly because, like, Sinclair already has 2 poise identities, and Otis already has 1 poise identity. Surely they're not just gonna throw poise onto it. Surely. Maybe they will be. Haste is cool. Little interesting getting a haste focused identity on Otis, since G-Corp Otis is like a really good haste support type identity, but like it doesn't matter too much usually, I'd say. We'll see. Now they reduced the HP of the bosses, yeah. I think it's for the best. It's made the grinding like today and yesterday a lot easier than it was that first, you know, day. Everything to do. Either getting a side of poise or bleed to their kit. Yep. Pretty much. Poise would make a lot of sense because they're, you know, like duelists. That's... I feel like poise like fits a lot with like the idea of like kind of like fencing rapier type style. Poise could be good. I don't know if me to upgrades are either kind of worthless or really busted, but not in between. Yep, pretty much. Poise became one of your favorite team comes alongside. Yeah, Poise and Rupture have some stupid ego gift potential. That's for sure. Like, have you guys seen the upgrades on the tier 4 Poise gift? You can make it so crits do 2.5 times damage if you upgrade the Clear Mirror Calm Water twice. Sure, that's a tier 4, so upgrading it is super expensive, but it is insanely worth it. Really funny. And then Rupture, like, I mean, that's what I did for, like, today's run, but, like, Rupture, its ego gifts, like, you can upgrade, like, both the Talisman Bundle and you can upgrade Thunder Branch, and they both are really good to upgrade. Wound Cure plus F's is stupid. Yeah, isn't it, like, 6 bleed infliction whenever you... 6 additional bleed whenever you inflict bleed? Something like that. Yeah, it is one of the really stupid ones. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to have 20 plus poison count. Yep. Pretty much. The other stuff is just kind of funny to stack on top of it. Like, even unupgraded, if you just take the pendant, like the one that gives like one person poise every turn, like that can just straight up sustain Pirate Gregor the entire run. Like, he already can sustain his poise perfectly well, but you throw that on, and he's gonna be like building up poise like nobody's business. 5 bleed also. Oh yeah, it's bleed count as well. Hello, Armagon. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of really fun stuff in there. I really wish there was a rest stop on floor 4 because I've only ever been able to upgrade one tier 4. And that was like, what tier 4 was that I upgraded? I don't think it was that worth it. Oh yeah, it was the sinking one. It was cool, but like not particularly worth it. Otherwise, I just haven't gotten to tier 4, you know, before the end of the 3rd floor. When card just makes you play the game normally, your enemy kills themselves. No point focusing down to parts to read 99 potency way too fast. Yep. My character with the poison you get isn't just strong, but also optimal. Yeah. Really fun stuff. It's definitely... We're gonna have to see what the new ego gifts this update are gonna be like, because some of the statistics feel really undertuned in Mirror Dungeon 3 compared to the others. Like, Tremor got 2 new ego gifts, one of which is pretty cool. The bell makes it so Tremor actually can matter a fair bit, even against enemies that can't be staggered. That's pretty cool. Reverberation is interesting. It can be a little bit... It's just a little bit of bind and like a single paralysis each turn. It already does a lot of Tremor. It works well with Tremor teams, nothing too special though. Then like... The new burn one isn't anything special. I don't even remember what the new burn one does. It's like more... It's like what, debuffs people with burn, buffs you based on the burn on enemies? It's not... I don't even remember. I'll run a burn team again sooner or later. I mean, burn got the biggest buff of all. In fact, that's so that no one will cry was nerfed and removed the passive, though. So I don't know if they need anything beyond that. They're still, like, good for, like, slowly whittling down HP of enemies, but because, you know, the bosses still have, like, 2,000 HP, it still takes forever to get burn down if you don't have Glimpse of Flames. Yeah, burn is not that good. Unless you have Glimpse of Flames, in which case it's insanely stupid. Although, unlike a lot of the other tier 4s, it's only actually good if you're running a burn team. Like, Thrill does stupid amounts of damage even if you aren't running a Tremor or like a Rupture team. You know, a lot of the tier 4s can synergize really well even if you don't focus a lot on it, but Glimpse of Flames only works if you're focusing burn. Tremor also has Melty... Oh yeah, Melty Eyeball. Isn't it, like, also, like, a 5, like, defense level down now? I haven't gotten to use it too much. I don't think I got it in my, actual Tremor run, unfortunately. Would have been very good synergy with what I was going with. We're at the tier 3, so it's not the most consistent one to get. I was thinking... Yeah, 5 offense and defense down, yeah. That is good. Glubbo Redemption. And that's just without upgrades. Can you upgrade the eye? I don't think I've gotten a chance to yet. God. Last burn ID come out like 5 months ago. Yep. Last burn focused ID sure was Leo Ishmael. We've only gotten 3 burn IDs over the course of the entire game. One of which was, there was a 2-star in the form of, Liu Honglu, like early-ish on in the game. That was the Reckoned 1 update, alongside 7 Otis. Then we, of course, got Rip Sinclair near the end of Season 1. Pretty good, that's for sure. Very strong unit overall. You can do a lot of burn, that's for sure. Wonder if they'll buff diversion and battery since you haven't seen it right now. Have you seen Sinclair? It's his first 3-star novel. Yeah, it looks cool. I love more haste support. Diversion and battery, let's see. Look at the tier 4. Yeah, because the 4 ego gifts that are currently not in the game, not accessible, is battery. I don't think needs to be buffed too much. Battery's already really strong. That's the thing. It's already a lot of like constant rupture. I don't think that needs to be buffed particularly. Similar-ish situation with the with Midwinter Nightmare. That's an instead of physical damage, but still good. It can still add up a lot. That one might get a buff though. But then Nixie Divergence and Dust to Dust have to get buffed. They are like very little. Especially Dust to Dust is just 2 burn count on enemies basically at the start of the fight. That's basically all it does. It's such a minor effect. And Nixie Divergence is 4 Tremor count on all enemies on the start of the fight. That's a pretty nice effect. It's a little bit more. It allows you to build up Tremor a little quicker. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dust to Dust is like a really good gift too, but not great. Lucky Mad League was supposed to especially improve. Can we get some burn attack weight conditions on the next Legion? That would be a lot of fun, yeah. Surely we're gonna get like a Liu Ryoshu soon, right? There's several. She still does not have any burn identities. It's so funny. You don't even need Battery Midwinter of a strong team for their comp. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just gonna be even more. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the compass. The compass is a really good thing. Is a spoiler-free zone since everything has been data mined already. If you mean the data mined ego gifts, I don't know what the ego gifts do now. I vaguely know how they work. I'd really like to not talk about them yet. I'd like to see them on my own a little bit, I think. Besides, who knows? They could get changed or something before that happens. Let's see, I'd say probably not talk about the data mine stuff, though. I've seen some of it so far. Not really intentionally. I've seen what all the ego gifts look like because, whenever I'm getting, ego gifts for thumbnails and stuff, I see all of them there. Don't know what they do, though. That's the thing. Purple effects, though, which will be cool. Like, I know fusing ashes to ashes and dust to dust creates, like, a stronger thing. That's cool. Fuse become better because right now it's completely random also. Yep, pretty much. Especially when you can just sell those ego gifts and then buy something else with that, like, combined cost. The fuse will be really good when we get the special fuse next week, where we can get, like, reset results depending on what we throw in. I also think, all the combined ego gifts are so funny. I can't wait for Wednesday. That's exciting stuff. I'm sure they're going to be stupid. They're, like, more consistent tier 4s, which is a scary idea. A very scary idea. MD3 made you update your first 2-star, which is She Ishmael. Is She Ishmael? I don't remember what She Ishmael gains at uptime. It might be decent. You're done 3 hard coming next week. Yep, it sure is. MCU Fusion Calculator Guide one. Would be cool. I think it's purely random, though. They're actually so stupid you'll have to see them. They're so disgusting. Ooh. That's especially... I mean, if it is that stupid, that's gonna be, like, insane. She needs more poise. Oh yeah, her skill 2's poise is insane, especially if you get her below half. Because Starlight's no longer in the game, She Ishmael is significantly better because she no longer gets healed every fight. She needs poise at up by 3. Yeah, her poise is really good. Oh. Anyways, probably time to get into the game a little bit. Give it a second to load. Fusion Krieg for monsters because you don't heal anymore. Yep. As long as you don't get hit, you really shouldn't get hit. There's not too much force damage in Mirror Dungeon 3. Pretty much like every... Oh, whoops. Oh, that is the wrong button. Whoops. Pretty much like everything, pretty much every, like, force damage... Every fight you have, like, more or equal speed slots than your target. I think the only exception is, like, maybe... I think you might have less attacks than your opponent if you're fighting, like, Trash King Crab. You may be forced to take a hit there. It's like 7 or something. Ahoy, matey Huddle. Ahoy there. Halid Moby Dickens. Thrill plus plus is disgustingly strong. Ooh. That's exciting. Oh yeah, Starlight Tree. How many more runs do you need to get all of your starter buffs? Funny you say that. I'm already maxed, yeah. I've been grinding. Now the plan is I need to stockpile Starlight in order to get... Because there's going to be at least 10 more nodes in this update. That's the thing, I'm not quite done yet. Because there's going to be one for each status effect special ego gift. There's going to be one that makes it so you get a... One of them is going to make it so you get a third ego gift option here. Another one will make it so you get to choose all 3 here. And then there's also going to be one that adds the final shop spot, at least. There could be more. Wait, didn't know how the crafting system works? I assume it's just like... I mean, I don't know like the details of it. I assume it's just kind of random. It's the tiers based on the tiers of the ego you throw in, but I think it's otherwise random, right? Or is there more to it? What am I feeling like doing? Bleed could be funny. I mean, we've got Grime Iron Steak and Littleton. Yeah, let's do a bleed run. I don't do bleed too often. Ooh. You're at Hero Bar. I don't know. I really want to focus on Starlight still, at least a little bit. I can run some less than optimal things right now. They might add recipes. Yeah, they are. Based on tier and affinity. Does the affinity actually matter? If so, that is really cool. Being able to, like, guarantee certain, like, affinities. Let's see. What am I feeling? Like, if we're running my actual bleed stuff, like, oh, Kveekveg's got a full bar. That's good. How's the... I guess the middle IDs aren't looking great. Your tier gifts, you will get a burn gift. Wait, so is it based on sin affinity or ego or like status effect affinity? I assume you're talking about sin affinity there. Oh, 2 burn. Okay, so it's based on status effect. I see. Yeah, I was wondering if it would work like that, but I didn't really have a chance to test it too much. God, we cannot set up a bleed team here. I mean, we can run with these ego gifts though. It's actually pretty complicated. That's cool to hear. Genuinely, there might genuinely be a calculator at this rate then. Let's see, I could try running, you know, just non-bleed units and seeing if I can get bleed running with them. I can throw on some Encore people, potentially. Potentially. And a lot of them have low bars. I think from like Kurikumo. Throw on Crypt, sure. 7. 2, sure. And then Ting Kurikumo. Ting Tang, yeah, that'll work. I haven't been messing with fusion since you just get Starlight per ego gift. You hit 170 Starlight a run, so yeah. Fair enough. Crafting components based on sin affinity. The result is based on the affinity of the components. Oh. Okay. I'm seeing what you're saying. Oh, this is a good fuller one. Burn is Blade Wrath. Yeah, because Burn is Wrath, Lust is Bleed, Sloth is Tremor, Gluttony is Rupture, Gloom is Sinking, Pride is Poison, Envy is Charge. Roughly. There's some status effects that kind of fall in between those two, but that's what it is based on, like, the tags, and that's the order they get listed in the tags, same as the Sin order. I think if I can actually back out to, like, show what I'm referring to. It's hard to understand. It doesn't necessarily mean you're like not particularly smart. But like looking at like the tags here, you can see that they kind of are paired 1-to-1 here, which is... This is already what I thought they, like, applied to. There's some situations where it's a little like, iffy. Like, Charge is also very, like, Gloom-heavy right now. Rupture is also pretty Gloom-heavy right now just because W Corp exists. And, you know, Bleed is getting very Envy-related recently. Look at the... Okay. Cool stuff. It's all about odds. You can roll for stuff you want more in those situations, I guess. Let's see, if we're trying to run bleed stuff, because we got this one, single coins inflict a bunch of bleed, just do stronger against enemies with bleed. So who do I actually take for actually bleed identities? You guys, right? And then I guess, well, they're on like you two as well. That'll work. If you get like another luck, if you can combine that with the nail to make another bleed. Yeah. Cool. So like if I wanted to do like a poise run or something and I got this and I didn't really want it, this is like a great fuel for getting a poise ego gift. Since it's pride, it's not something that particularly benefits like a poise team, but I can use it to get poise stuff. You can see tier 4 if you combine 3 tier 3, by the way. Okay. Also, very interesting stuff. Because it's not quite the average. It's like a little bit like above / below the average, depending on if you did 3 or 2. That's something I should work for, because I still need... There's still quite a few tier 4s that I need to get in my compendium. Namely, I'm still missing... I believe I'm missing... Downpour, Thrill, Clear Mirror Calm Water, the Mirror Shards, whatever they're called, and the one that looks like a piece of paper that I still don't know exactly what it does. Lunar Memory saving. I actually got Lunar Memory today. It was pretty awesome. That was actually, you know, today's run, funnily enough. But yeah, I sold like everything I owned for it, but I finally got it, so I'm not gonna have to worry about it. But I'm gonna use 2 or 3 gifts that can be extremely good for random. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that. It's more so if you've got fodder and you would get more benefit from that over like selling them. Worked every time for you so far, so IDK. Yeah, I've not messed around with it a bunch because spamming rerolls mainly. Because I've just kind of been farming for tier 4s and just running random teams. Because I want to get the compendium like as close to full as I can. Where are actually easy to use tier 3. Oh god, I failed to say that a little bit. Yeah. Could actually make it beneficial to like start buying like random tier 3s or something then. The Sun Shower tier 3 or is it still tier 2? I think it's still tier 2. I think the tier 3s are like 250 or above or something, yeah. You wanna know piece? I've heard what Pieces of Relationship does. It like buffs everyone's level by 10 or something? That's what I've heard. That sounds insane. You can get out of skill 3. Probably save the rest of this though. You can pose it if you want to, chat. I'm fine with stuff that's already in the game, because I vaguely know what the 2 things I haven't seen yet do. Piece of Relationship's been changed once, and I know it's like some sort of like damage off for not getting hit is the other piece of paper thing. Wasn't it 5? It might be 5, it might be 10 at like... at plus or something. Hard to say. Bracier's Hammer's nice, getting a bunch of cost early. Could be good. Only 5. So if you use 3 tier 4, you would get it. I assume that's how it works. Ultimate Indies gain 5 levels, cannot sell. Okay, then can it get like buffed to like 8 and 10 or something then? That makes sense. Yeah, +5 levels everyone is nice. Plus is 10. Oh, Dawn's getting staggered. Whoops. Should have paid more attention to that. Oh, well. You can't use tier 4 Ego to fuse stuff. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. I think I've actually seen that already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I tried that. I forgot about that, though. That was a bit back. I say a bit back as if it wasn't probably, like, yesterday, but... You know, time flies when you're grinding near dungeons. It is 5, 7, 10. Okay. Was an event that upped your standards levels by 3. Yeah, I think it's the Grand Welcome one that boosts it by 3, but there's a bunch of ones that boost it by 2, from what I've seen. Basically, like, most of the new, like, Abno events have the ability to boost your level by, like, 2 or so. So far, Grand Welcome's the only one I've seen that boosts it by 3 instead of 2. I mean, maybe I have. You haven't even seen any 4 tiers, you haven't had enough time to play. Yeah, I think one of the early-ish Starlight buffs makes it so you've got a lot higher of a chance to find them. That could definitely, like, apply to it. I think it's, like, almost impossible to find in shops before you get, like, one of the early ones. It's only the early ones, though. Nice way to get tier 4 from crafting. Makes enough sense. I'm still not great at actually knowing, like, the level, the rarity of Ego Gifts. A lot of the times it has felt very random, you know, like, what's a tier 1 and what's a tier 2, what's a tier 3. Like, the tier 4s and 5s make perfect sense, nothing wrong. But 1 through 3 has always felt a little random. We've got 4 buffs active, so you should probably have it then. Maybe you just haven't done it too much. Brides have been grinded. These mirrors aren't gonna dungeon themselves. So true. So true. That's what I'm here for. My body is a machine that turns mirror dungeon runs into completed mirror dungeon runs. I realize it's really good. Tears boost is a little rude. I like ignoring the damage buff ones because they matter a lot more than these ones. Like, this is a tier 2, I think. This is a tier 1, I think. This is also tier 1, I think. So no tier 3s here. Universe takes a lot of time. That's true. Luckily for me, I am off right now. I've got a month off, so I can have, you know, a relatively chill time for these, you know, mirror dungeon grinding. I mean, I gotta take me out of that. It's just too funny not to. Maybe that's a tier 2, yeah. More bleed and defense level down. Oh, I did see White Gossipium, doesn't do bleed count anymore. Little unfortunate. It makes it even worse on non-bleed teams, I feel. I mean, the defense level down, offense level down at, like, higher levels, it can make up for that, but White Gossipium feels... Like, it's not gonna... You don't want it for bleed if you're not running a bleed build anymore. And it was a very minimal amount of bleed count, right? Like, 2 times... It was like 2 times the stagger level. Like, it's really not gonna add up to much. It's still something, I guess. You can sell it, though. Money's a machine that turns 2 good ego gifts into White Gossipium. Happened a remarkable times 3 times through. Luckily, you can then just, like, use it away again, assuming you have at least one other thing, if you really don't want it. Or you can just save it for the next shop. One or the other. What are you going for? Oh, Dawn. We're not going to be able to reject everything. Dawn can take a hit, though. Ideally, actually, no. You're weak to Gloom, so they're actually going to both do a lot of damage. Maybe we should redirect one of these instead of, like, that. Yeah, you can probably take a hit. You'll be fine, I believe. And then you're one-siding, so we'll just hit you with, like, a flying sword. You can combine Stake and Bloody Gadget to the next rest stop for science, of course. Sure. Might as well. Might as well do some sciencing. No, do you think it was kind of worth it before because of the count? I mean, the count was pretty minimal. If you actually wanted much benefit from the bleed potency, then you were probably running a bleed team anyways. But it makes it so the actual damage dealt by Gossipium is atrocious on non-bleed teams. The buff melted eyeball, I have, yeah. It's so funny how they're just leaning into the idea of Tremor is not about, like, actually staggering anymore, it's just debuffing through Burst Tremor, which is still a cool way to go about doing it, don't get me wrong. Having it so, like, certain, like, skills will just be able to, like, burst people down more efficiently. I still think that is, like, somewhat cool of a way to go about Tremor. It's just funny how it is very different from, you know, just the stagger. I'm feasting Tremor. Tremor, my beloved. Really something else. I think I'm still alive. Negative 25 offense and defense all down in enemies, please. If you're in full bleeding, the count could easily get you like 189. Yeah. You can't stagger many things. Exactly. The things you can stagger can get like Cromer gets demolished by the funniest time to fight Cromer is when you're running like Tremor stuff, because you can just stagger her. You don't really need to worry about her too much. You can kind of stack it pretty easily on her because she's only got a single body part. As long as you don't have too many things that like reduce Tremor count. Like if you're running a Tremor team, you're assumably not going to be running, say, sloshing Ishmael anyways, because she's not good. Yeah. Just you two left. Easy peasy. Killing Yuzi. You're only getting Centipede Bowl and Fat Fairy. It's so funny that every single final boss from Mirror Dungeon 2 is also a final boss in Mirror Dungeon 3, except for So That No One Will Cry. Why was he the only one that got demoted to a floor 3 boss? Like, what did he do wrong? It's just to make, like, it's just to give burn teams, like, a harder time, I guess, before they remove the passive. I think the fairies should have been brought down too as well, potentially. I don't know. I do not believe any buffs were added to the final floor, actually. Yeah, I've heard that too. You did see the Tor robot guy. Oh, is KQE in the dungeon? I've seen Bluffo. I haven't seen KQE yet, though. Is he a final boss? Or is he floor 3? Mirror 3 hard with the worst idea, just see someone use sloshing on it. It's probably not going to be that bad. Thing with Mirror Dungeon is you just keep on re-rolling until you like get like Thrill early or something, you know? Mirror Dungeon is a lot less of a challenge because of the fact it's hard to like get bad IDs going like consistently if you're not like resetting or anything. Nothing you can, but yeah. I remember early on I heard some people mentioning Green Baron Fillet Current, so I thought that was going to be a final boss, but I think they were just talking about the event and I got mixed up. KQE is floor 4, cool. Fix the thing that soft locked the game, yes. I haven't seen it yet. I actually still have not seen Papa Bongi. He is a floor 3 boss, and before the patch, he did soft lock the game, if you got unlucky enough to face him. Robot's another one that's really easy to like cheese with like Rupture or Bleed or something because you can just stack a stupid amount of it on it. Yeah, Tremor. Tremor can also do decently there. I think the issue with KQE is it's sometimes just I think after each cycle it resets the stagger bar, but like if you're in Mirror Dungeon 3, chances are you'll be able to stack stupid amounts of Tremor. So it's not that big of an issue. Papa Bongi's in the timeout corner right now. I do know, I have seen, apparently Papa Bongi has a death sprite now. In the actual main story, you never kill him, he just like flees both times or something, right? When you kill him. Is it done? No, he just stands there or something, right? He doesn't die, right? Unless I'm getting mixed up. Oh yeah, let's see. Rest off time. So let's see, so for the sake of the bit, Bloody Gadget, Iron, and the Stake. We could throw on Voracious Hammer too if we wanted to be really silly. Let's just start with these two, though. Because they're both Lust, so it should give a Bleed Ego gift. A tier 2 Bleed Ego gift, right? What Bleed tier 2 Ego gift is there? It's probably going to be Wound Clarid, right? Something like that, right? You know, that makes a lot of sense. That is a Bleed Ego gift. You know, I really shouldn't be that shocked. You just gotta will things into existence, you know? If I throw a nebulizer in this thing, I could get like a tier 2 poise. Oh yeah. Things, and notice it's the poise symbols here. I actually didn't notice. Was the bleed symbol there when I couldn't do lust things? I'd assume so. Huh. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Well, I'm buffing nebulizer. There we go, Pride Resonance. Which is very reasonable. We're using like... We've got like the smallest amount of Pride in our team, which is more than enough to be set for life. Oh, Golden Grip. The bleed symbol is there, okay. Good to know. Because I tried, in the past I think I tried doing two things with the same status effect and I didn't see it. So if you got... No, there's no Sin Affinities that have 3 tier 3 egos, right? I think they... I don't know. But if you did have 3 tier 3s of the same Sin Affinity, then you could guarantee which tier 4 you were going to get, right? Is there any Sin Affinities that have... I still don't know exactly what our tier 3s off the top of my head. Why didn't you fuse away the Gossip EM? Because I'll sell it later. It's funny. We can also get Poise running things, getting the Pride Absolute Resonance here. Also very silly. Dominating, you resist that heavily, you can take it. 200 clash here. Not a lot of good clashes going on there. We'll just do you and hope for the best. Have you seen the Nebulizer event? I have, yeah. Pretty cool. Weird little creature. It's like a guy in like a rib cage, right? Just kind of chilling. I'd say chilling as if it doesn't look like he's in like writhing agony. Gossip Beam's not that bad, yeah. I'd just rather, you know, the 100 cost or whatever it's worth. It's a little more worthwhile for me. I'd rather be able to stagger enemies, but you know, to each their own. What bleed do you have? Not enough to get anything actually decent going with Snag Harpoon. I don't think I really want you to hit the counter though, so I'll have you do like that. You're gonna hit the counter no matter what, so I'm just gonna let it happen. Because you're gonna mass attack someone and chances are it's gonna hit the guy with the counter. We're not going for any pride if we do this though, that's true. We'll try that. Get a little bit of lust going. Yeah, and running the same stuff a lot. You don't have enough uptie 3s. Yeah. I mean, you can always try. Some uptie 2s are still like, some uptie 1, uptie 2s are still decent. Some people aren't too. I mean, there are a lot of enemies that are kind of reliant on their skill 3, so that can be rough at times. But there's a lot that might go a lot better than you'd expect. Probably. Because sometimes it said you were gonna hit tier 3 poise, but gave me tier 2 singing instead. What even is there for tier 3 poise? What's the tier 3 poise EU gift? If it's something you already had, then maybe it like is like, oh wait, we can't give you that, and just give you something random instead. That could do it. It would be cruel, but it makes enough sense. Bleed, do you have a lot of bleed? Okay. Let's snag our boon trigger then. Get a bunch more poise onto you. You don't really need the poise, but it's funny. So I'm gonna roll with it. Clash with you, we'll clash with you. We'll do that. We're just gonna kill this guy this turn. Endorphin Kit. Is Endorphin tier 3? Pendant is definitely not tier 3. Endorphin Kit might be the tier 3. I just need to figure out what tiers everything are. It'll take me a minute to actually learn that, because it didn't matter before, really. I think Pendant's like a tier 1.
이 흐름대로 사냥을 끝내러
Endorphin kit
가보자.
makes perfect sense for a tier 3 though. Yeah, maybe you had that, maybe it didn't have anything to give you, and therefore it just gave you some random garbage instead. Wouldn't be shocked.
지적거리지만
Love
마.
Endorphin kit plus plus. Yeah. The Pirates really brought Poise back to life. Yep. I'm very glad to see it. It's fun. It's definitely, it feels like the most gimmicky status effect, and that's why it's like so commonly being paired with stuff that's, you know, not poise. Like there's like poison bleed units, there's like poison
참,
rupture
이런
slash tremor
상황인데도
for like
어떻게
LCCB
끝이 보이네요.
for Yoshu. Like it's
조금만 더
cool.
해보죠.
Did I have Endorphin on that run? I only got it one run. Who knows? There's a lot of, there might be like a margin of error or something for all we know. Maybe it's not guaranteed, maybe it's only like likely. There's so many factors that could come into play. And I really don't know.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
There, get a little bit, get your bleed going, get your 37 healing. Jeez. You know, occasionally Jeff Gregor like gets a big healing number on like bleed heavy units, and you're like, wow, maybe this guy can do something. And then you think about that for more than like a millisecond, and you're like, what am I talking about? And then you go back to normal. How many buffs do you have to be to start with 2 gifts? I think it's like 7 or 6 buffs in or something. It's the one like right before the actual like second like branching path. Oh, wound cleared. Don't mind if I do. Wound cleared appears more of a tier 3 gift than smokes and wires. Yeah. Where's the rest up here? I kind of want to. Yeah, okay. We'll go for that. I don't know. I probably shouldn't look for anything. I'm gonna sell you though. Probably. Should I? Or should I go for the? I want to go for the bleed. I think I want to go for the bleed. We don't really want to sell anything then. I think I want to keep all this stuff and hopefully have a decent amount of cost by the end. I love Chef Gregory. He's so useless. You gotta respect to a degree. Do you? I don't know if you have to. That's a little bit of hyperbole, but you know, you feel inclined. It's like a wet dog. Wet dog is such a fun analogy to use in any situation. Eating Gossipium. I gotta do it. I gotta go for the bleed on a team that doesn't have the most bleed, I feel. It's just a little bit. The best ego in the game, it sure is. For a second I thought I lost that. For some reason Ryoshi decided to run to the opposite side of that guy to fight him. Fair enough. Keeping on my toes. Never know whose side you really are on. Next, gonna run base, ego, Gregor instead of Legger domain. I actually do that fairly frequently because I like running Liu Gregor. And the thing about Liu Gregor is that 9-2 Faust may tell you otherwise, but burn teams cannot fuel gluttony at all. You're really better off if suddenly one day in that situation. You're gonna upgrade Wound Cleared? You better believe I am. Just too funny not to. Maybe if I got some cost to spare, I could, like, also upgrade Gossipium, maybe? We'll see. We'll see how zany I'm feeling at the time. I'll put base ego on Pirate Greg. Yeah. Base Greg has a 1 in 5 chance of being useful. Yeah. It's like gambling. And what do Limbus players like more than gambling? Not much. That's for sure. We're just all gamblers at heart. I do have 0 gloom on this team, by the way. Interesting. Maybe I should have taken like one of those resource giving ego gifts instead of just going for the funny. I don't need any gloom though. It's unnecessary where I'm going. Okay. This does not do much for me. Who should go for? You're good. I love the smallest possible amount of burn. Let's see. I can upgrade. This one just makes it so it just inflicts. It just removes the conditional, right? Yeah. No thanks. We'll upgrade you. That's for sure. Yeah. Wrath / bleed skills with like 5 bleed and 1 bleed count. And then White Gossipy, I might as well upgrade this as well. Oh, I need 6 more cost to upgrade it again. That's unfortunate. I could get a Burn Eagle gift. Yeah, okay, yeah. Further proof. I throw in 2 Wrath ones and it's, you know, that. Lost. That's lost. We don't have another lost to throw in with it, though, unfortunately. We're probably fine with this, then. We wanna save up a lot of costs now so we can just spam reroll on the final floor to see if we can get red Gossipium. And ashes with blood back. I could have there. It showed the burn symbol, and that was good enough for me. I'd rather save them, because I want to see if I can push my luck. Gluttony is being the rare sin right now, which is kind of sad for your favorite affinity. Yeah, there's not a lot of very strong damage dealing Gluttony attacks. Like the best like Gluttony nukes in the game are like Rabbit Heathcliff skill 2 and like Zweigregor skill 2. Those are like the most damage dealing Gluttony skills in the game, which is kind of sad. Stuff like Mutilate's cool, but it's not as damage dealing because it's a single point. It can do a lot of damage, but like against like gunning down bosses and stuff, Mutilate's not as effective as the other two. Pretty silly. W Sung's Gluttony skill is decent. That's true. His skill 2. Profit. Oh yeah, profiling. Yeah. That's true. I forget about those two. Because their Gluttonies are skill 3s. That's also true. I always overlook 7, the new 7, the quote-unquote new 7 IDs. I always forget about them for some reason. I don't know why, because I do think they're really cool, but like, they never like stick out in my mind. I don't know why. Rabbit Heat skill 2, even if their nuke is barely considered rocket. Well, that's just because of the sad situation Gluttony's in overall. Picor Pong Luke Gluttony focusing on misremember. His skill 2 is Gluttony, I think. Right? I think his skill 2 is the Gluttony one. Because like his skill 1 is Sloth and his skill 3 is Pride. So he's got like a decent like 2-coin Gluttony skill. Nothing too insane. Oh, Swash. Swash is another good one, that's true. Let's see. What's our best way of bleeding you out? We don't have the most bleed on this team. We've got some, though. What do? We bleed out the body? It's only going for 2 attacks. Maybe let's not clash the body. Let it do its damage. And instead, anyone who can spam bleed on it will. This is something I guess I wish nails counted as bleed. Yeah, this will be a lot. What are we thinking? Try this one. A lot of bleed at that point. Go for that one. Catch breath. That'll be good. We're letting a lot of attacks go through. Dawn could blow up. Dawn should probably clash then. Dawn should probably like Sangre de Sancho for her own life. Yeah, it's currently you know the season of envy. Laughter, what is? That's its croaking sound. It's a weird croak. Like I just could have some new gluttony, could have some gluttony skills. Yeah, they're probably gonna be like, I don't know. I feel like the pride is gonna be like pretty obvious for them. I do think gluttony is decently likely to show up. Perhaps actually feel threatening when they have stats. Yeah.
공격 능력 평가 반불.
I have a bunch of bleed here, thanks to the Snaggerpoon Gaming. Catch Breath is also a little bit of bleed because it's a Wrath skill. There's 22 bleed. For, you know, a team with a very limited amount of bleed, that's pretty good stuff. And you do, like, no damage. You do some sanity damage, don't get me wrong. That's a little bit worrying. Only a little, though. Unleash Violence is very good for us. Unfortunately, you do not have enough Tremor for it to be a multi-target. That's how it goes. Also, you're going for the perfect person to be attacking because he's going to get a bunch of buffs if you damage him enough. Maybe he's a little abnormal. True. A little bit of an abnormality. We don't know why. I'm also not going to bother raking the eyes this time. I think it'll be funnier if I don't. Right? I think so. Envy getting some major content. Yeah, it makes enough sense. Don't get me wrong. It's funny though. Yeah, you're getting some attacks off. You might stagger him. You are gonna stagger him, which is fine. You actually didn't stagger him. Okay, now he gets his, you know, stupid amount of power next turn. Yuli Honglu is a gluttony nuke. Yeah, I mentioned that one. It's only a single coin though, of course. It's not as great against bosses because it's just a single coin. At that rate, you could have just used like an ego on someone. Kind of thing that sets it apart. It can be really good on weaker enemies for just kind of like chaining them together. Why is the toad saying? It's because it's a funny little toad guy. Keep in mind, this doesn't like necessarily indicate their actual prowess in battle. Because like Cliffoth is such an inconsistent factor that you can never like be sure. She needs new ideas, yeah. The fact that we didn't get one at least at some point in Season 2 was so funny, given how they're the only association that's actually shown up in the main story so far. Even if only slightly. Oh, you lose these, is nice. Bird kiss or jump scare, how scary. Oh, I only now realized I forgot to actually put the chat on the screen, huh? Are we getting any Christmas exclusive IDs or egos? Almost certainly. Since it's getting a mid-chapter. Army Black is a fake Zane, yeah. A little bit of a faker. I found you, faker. What? What did I see that's new? Oh, you're mass attacking. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Interesting. Maybe I did in Refraction Relay 1. This is not ringing a single bell for me, though. So I do not know. Well, it seems like Walpurgis is going to be, like, later this season. The roadmap seems to have been assumably in the order they plan on releasing them in. So we'll have to, like, see for sure. Okay, you need to get this thing. I do not want to take the eyeball weight. That'll be rude. It says dominate. It's not actually dominate. This is going to go poorly for us. Season Christmas event will be from Rudolph or New Avenue. I feel like they'd have to do Rudolph simply because, like, what else would they do for Christmas? That is a cool animation. Okay. I haven't seen it before because I always break the eyes immediately. That's why. I do not think I've seen that even Refraction Relay 1. That's cool. You've killed him so fast. Well, it's not that you kill him fast as much as it's because you take down his eyes. It's because I haven't touched his eyes at all. Normally his eyes fall pretty fast since that's how you stagger him, but because I'm going for the funny bleed stuff, he's not really getting a chance to. Rudolph the boss would be silly. I don't know if getting Christmas... I don't know if Christmas event would mean a Rudolph the boss is the thing. Because, like, they could, but, like... Well, Cheers wasn't the boss or something. It seems like the boss is going to be some random other weird thing. Oh, you're doomed. Nice. That's why I went for the bad clashes, by the way. I just wanted him to bleed to death. Well, every 3 to 4 months, yep. So it'll be near the end of the season. Interesting choices. Grand Welcome is really good. It's also a... It's a tier 3, right? It doesn't really matter at this point because I can't do any fusion. I think Char Disc is the burn tier 3. I know that for sure. Is this a tier 3 or is it a tier 2? I don't remember. I need to, like, look through it or something. This will just pulls up my Crowns. And I'll just take Grand Welcome. It doesn't really matter too much. Max speed up is fine. Free Pride, yeah. Rudolph was planned to Runa but never added, probably. There's like 10 abnormalities that were planned in Runa and have like art for them. Rudolph, I think, was one of them. Most of them, it's like fair enough that they didn't make it. I think the fact that they excluded Dreaming Current was like such a strange decision because it feels like such like a good avenue to have on Netback floor. That's how it goes sometimes. And with the break. All of these are tier 3? Okay, makes sense. Gardis seems like it's pretty bad, yeah. Can you upgrade it at least? I don't know if you can. I feel like you can't. Communicate with Mercy. Here's the thing. Who knows what they're gonna do for April Fools this year? They might actually like plan something beyond just a cutscene this year. If they want to top last year, we could get Bald as Austin or so. That's kind of the dream, I think. And it's just Merso with like a raw like leather jacket, wearing shades. He's bald, and he just punches the enemy really hard. And it's like a Zayn. It would be so perfect.
네, 입감 양호합니다.
You're doing a little bit of countering. You're doing a little bit of attacking each other, but it doesn't really matter because they're redirecting it. Don't know. We might want to be more careful with some of these, though. It'll be fine. If everyone dies, it's good for the content. With the glasses, yeah, of course, the sunglasses. Like, because that's the ego gift from Bald is Awesome. It's a necessary part of the Bald is Awesome attire. Like, the thing about making, like, jokes, the issue is, for pretty much every ego feasibly possible, the funniest person to get it is Merso. Like, literally anything, list it, and, like, the funniest person for it is Merso, just because he's such a funny character. He says, like, balding. Bald is Awesome should be a fight, and it should have its own unique death animation, similar to something like Rose Sign, or like some of the earlier Abnos, where it just makes sinners go bald, and then they don't die or anything, they just stand there bald. They've already lost since they've lost their hair. Balding. It makes sense. Oh yeah, that's true. I think agreed, Merso. Would be very funny, just punchy. Merso does love his punchy. His punch pow. He's got Chrome as the final boss for the 3rd time. She's a pretty funny fight. Don't touch me in the main menu for April Fools. That would also be awesome. Another good possibility. Never actually finished Log Ruina. They're fun. Once again, if you just couldn't get into them, that makes perfect sense, but
당신들은 상관없을지도.
they're worth giving another try, most likely. Let's get the resonance going, yeah. Who do you think is getting your ego? I think there's definitely a lot of options. Sinclair is honestly like a decent choice for it. Like love and hatred, like a big part of Queen of Hatred is the fact that it's like these two very like different personas. It fits Sinclair a little too well. Donna's the perfect pick for Queen of Hatred. No, that's true. I think it also fits Sinclair really well, though. Who knows? We don't have to only get a single Queen of Hatred. That's the thing. Bruno's easier than Limbus for you. The only fight that was harder for you was like the very final Condom stuff. Bruno's not that hard of a game. It's just very... It can be rough, that's for sure. I don't think it's too hard of a game, like, when you factor in everything. It's got its, like, difficulty spikes, quote-unquote, but the thing is, most of them you can just wait till later. Just... If you're having trouble with Queen of Hatred or Little Red, just wait a bit, and you're probably fine. Night of Despair is Sinclair like? Yeah. Sinclair could fit a lot of them, I feel. Not Greed, but like the others he could fit fairly well. Not hard, but it makes you read that. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you just do not check the passives and you lose. And the thing about Runa is mainly just if you fail with something, you can lose like an hour of progress and have to redo it. I think that's a big turn-off for people. It's not hard, like, numerically, but it's hard in the fact that, you know, when you do, if something does go wrong, you can lose, like, a pretty, like, notable amount of time for your retry. Okay, this event. More hospital creatures, the centaur. You got this? It's scary. Straightforward, yeah. It'll work. What's an affinity would King Greed have since Limbus has no greed? Well, I mean, either Sloth or Gluttony would make perfect sense. I think Sloth makes sense because like color-wise, but Gluttony also is very like close to like Greed. So is Lust though. Yeah, that's Gluttony, Lust, Sloth, they all could make sense. That's the thing. Why does Limbus have Gloom instead of Greed? People theorize probably something to do with the fact that Greed is just too commonplace in the city to be considered like an exceptional sin. That's kind of how I've looked at it. Because like the city's like morals and stuff are a little bit off of our own. So, you know, greed is far too... Greed is less of a sin and more so just kind of like a natural part of the city. Blood and Lust also makes sense to Greed anyways. Yeah, a lot of the 7 sins do feel very redundant. They've got like slight differences, but it really does feel like they could have, you know, like the people who made the... Where did the 7 sins even originate from? It's biblical, right? Yeah? I really should know that. Is it after biblical? I don't know. It's something like that, though, right? Well, they definitely could have separated it a little bit too much. I think Greed could be Gloom because it takes Greed's place. It's not very similar to it, though. That's the thing. They just come from the Bible, like the 7 deadly sins. Yeah. That's what I assume. It's something biblical. I don't know exactly when in time. Maybe Gloom, who knows? Dante Resonance Greed. They got into Limbus Company because wants to engrave something. Could be, who knows? They could always add, like, Greed at a later date. That's the thing. Would be really funny. Wake up Babe Newson, just drop. The four star customers with like yeah, they're the four sins. There's no the four virtues. And so it makes perfect sense that we're getting, you know, the opposite of that now. 'Cause I guess the people, I guess as far as like Project Moon is considered, the agents and LobCorp are all wholesome and stuff, while the sinners are all, you know, bad and evil. They're all called sinners, so you know it makes a little sense they're closely related to sins. Need to get back into LobCorp. Yeah, it's fun. The new sim get a Pekatule is gonna be an envy situation. Surely we're gonna get an envy Pekatule sooner or later. Why didn't they just add it in Kanto 4? Like, why didn't they just add it when the game launched? It's so strange. Like, without attacking getting thrown out is very funny. Yeah, just throw in like Mariachi Sinclair, just have a thrill active, and just keep on dodging everything. I don't know how that all that work actually. So you might fail some dodges and like blow up, but it sure would be funny. Especially if you blew up. He's chapter surely, since he's all of an envy. Yeah, surely. That'll be the time. Who do you think is going to end up being the 13th sinner? Dante. Technically, Gregor is the 13th sinner, because Dante's the 10th sinner already. The empty spot on the roster is Dante, and it's literally on Dante's code. Dante has the number 13 on their code. The 13th is Gregor, yes, because the 10th is Dante, but then Dante is the 13th by, like, another means of the words, yeah. They do, yeah. I think you can see it there. Also, something else worth noting is the fact on Sinclair's coat, there's a 10 that's crossed off and replaced with an 11. Which is really funny. Like, they, like, midway through, like, physical, like, Limbus company was like, oh wait, we kind of need to leave a spot for Dante. Ah, yes, of course. It'd be funny and add a greed Pekatule instead of Kanto. They could, honestly, they're probably gonna add, like, major, like, Pekatule or something. Like, stronger versions than one we've already seen, like, alternate versions. The Sins could have aberrations, you know? That would make a lot of sense. Not necessarily aberrations, but, like, different, like, aspects of those Sins. Would make plenty of sense. If this doesn't do much for us now, this doesn't do much for us now. This doesn't do much for us now. I don't really care for the healing stuff. I want to roll. See if we get anything good. I'm pretty much exclusively looking forward to tier 4s here. See if I get lucky. No luck. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, the Inferno is definitely the first chapter of Limbus. Inferno, Purgatorio, Paradisio. Purgatorio is probably going to be more so the in-between period, between the other parts, if I had to guess. That's where we're going to get a lot of, like, Baron Virgilius type stuff, I presume. And that's when Virgilius is going to get killed off. Almost certainly. You can just feel it. It's just 2 Project Moon to do. 2 Project Moon for them to not do, I guess. We're gonna let all your attacks go through so we can stack some bleed, I think. Might as well. Because if we clash, then you're gonna, like, spend some of the bleed, which is not cool for us. You can clash with this. That'll work well enough, maybe. When a center's numbered the way they are, it's because it matches the associations. Well, Yisang is Korean, so is Hana. Faust is German, so is Vi. That's 2. So 1 for, like, Dawn, Spanish, Grace, 3. They can't kill Virgilius. He's so dead. Like, it's comical how dead Virgilius is. He is not surviving the winter. And it's really sad because he's really cool. He's gonna get his like character development. He's or not character development as much as he's finally gonna like start accepting the sinners and that they're gonna be all like wholesome together. And then he's gonna get killed off, you know it. And it's gonna be heartbreaking. There's like no situation in which this isn't exactly what happens. That's a term that explains the already. Yeah. Technically, multiple of the sinners are somewhat German. Namely, since, Sinclair is also, like, Sinclair is, like, Swiss German, right? And Gregor is, Hebrew, but also, like, partial, like, German stuff, I think. Because, yeah. You're the heartbreaking Chapter 5 true. I'm late. Hello, Melon. Not much has happened. It's just been a lot of random talking, really. You haven't missed much. We're just chilling. I'm just gonna keep on one-siding this guy. There's no reason for me to actually bother with him, I think. We're just gonna keep on bleeding him. We're not even going for a lot of bleed this turn, but he's already at 75. Not at 10 for some reason. Gregor's 13. Yeah, there's gonna be a 13th association sooner or later, and it's gonna be Hebrew, and it's gonna have something to do with purple tier. Most likely. Now, of course, Ruin removed ending is non-canon, since it's, you know, removed. But it definitely is saying something about what's going on. 13th association being Hebrew makes too much sense, Sephiroth or Hebrew. It just fits. Karen is unkillable. I don't think Karen's gonna die. Karen might die. Karen could, like, actually, like, become a sinner or something for all I know. I mean, if we're going on Dante's Inferno, I think Karen leaves, so maybe Karen dies. I don't know why Karen dies, and she might die. I don't want Virgilius to die, yeah. The issue is, this is Project Moon we're talking about. They really do not care about your feelings. They will break your heart. Like I'm sure they're gonna do in the next Kanto. The Heartbreaking. Name that because Project Moon is gonna mess with us significantly in the process, without a doubt. Casting Shade, that's fine. I genuinely have yet to see a reason to actually bother with this Clover pretty much ever in this fight, only ever matters in the duo fight. That's fine. This guy's really dead though, so I don't really care. Let's just block him. If remove stuff is non-canon, stuff like remove from canon, no. Road Home is still in Ruina.
최후의 혈구 하나만 남아있다면 생명은 어떻게라도 보존될 테니.
The thing is, keep in mind the fact that aberrations as a concept originated from Wonderlab. We're never seeing the Wonderlab characters again, most likely, but the actual, like, Abnos seem like relatively fine territory. Some of them maybe not so much, like the ones more story relevant. And of course the ones we've seen in Ruin are still canon, of course. It seems like only one of each color, but there seems to be, like, some strange overlap. Like, I assume blue and indigo are different things. You know? Vermilion probably isn't necessarily orange, it's its own thing. That's my guess. So, like, it's not just like, oh, there's only 8 colors at a time. There's, like, 20 colors or something, probably. And the colors are probably, like, preset, and they, like, cycle between whenever someone dies, they get someone else to take their place. We'll have to see, though. We need to see more colors to get a good sense of that. There we go, there's a run done, though. Excellent, good stuff. Boxes. The other Abdos from Wonderlab that didn't appear in the game probably won't come back. I think Titania may. I think some of them will. I think Titania has a decent chance of making it in. It seems a little too important given how much fairy stuff is going on. Over 300, you've only got half of that. Yeah. I also grind this. I also play this game a lot, though. I'm not a good benchmark for that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not the most, like, lifeless at this game. I've also been grinding it super hard recently because I've been grinding the Starlight. There's probably as many colors as there is words to describe colors. Yeah. Something like that. Okay, let me see. Let me go through the tier 3s and actually get a good sense of what's the tier 3. Okay, Sun Shower is a tier 3, Poin's a tier 3, Phantom Pain's a tier 3, Thunder Branch and the Melted Eye are tier 3s. The Illusory Hunt is a tier 3. Smoke and Mire is a tier 3. Rusted Cutting Knife's a tier 3. Early Clover's a tier 3. Disc Fragment's a tier 3. Grand Welcome Special Contract. Shard Disc, Lightning Rod, Endorphin Kit. First Aid Kit. And the Bell and the Compass. Okay, I see. Titania, please. There's too much fairy stuff going on for it to not show up sooner or later. And also, keep in mind, I actually can't show it here, but I can vaguely show it, but this is literally called Midwinter Nightmare, which is a very direct reference to Midsummer Night's Dream, which is where Titania originates from. And that's from the Fey Lantern. Adds up, I think. Methinks. I think I gotta take this. There's 2 tier 3s in random right now. This could be a good run for fusing a tier 4, methinks. Sun Shower, Illusory Hunt. Really solid ones. Okay. Generic type of run go. Runs by. Throw on. C. LCCB. Base Merceau. Rokumo. 7. LCCB. Base. Mariachi. G-Corp. I should probably throw in some more 3 stars. God. We can throw on... That's not a 3-star. We can throw on K-Corp. That way we're never gonna lose this. I guess we'll get Aleph Eagles. It's definitely not Kanto 6. I think Kanto 7 maybe. We're gonna have to see how, because we still only are. We're only getting our second VOV, quote unquote, next week, and that's because they're uploading Sun Shower. They're kind of being very slow with VOV so far. It depends. Based on how many VOVs we get in the next things, I think it very well could be Kanto, like, 8 or 9 at this rate. If it's Kanto 8, it would be Honglu. If it's Kanto 9, it would be Ryoshu. Kanto 7 is Dawn. Like, any of those could make a lot of sense. Pretty sure Nobody was changed to everything there in Kanto 3. They can be very different things. Everything there of keep in mind, everything there of an Inquisitor, that's not an aberration of Nothing There. It's just straight up using Nothing There's code. Aberrations use different codes. It is a Teth level aberration of, or Teth level corrosion of Nothing There. So someone like corroded with not like a weaker Nothing There ego, something like that probably. Will Paper's ego eventually show up in Dispensary? They do, yes. Currently, the Season 1 pass egos are available in the Dispensary. Right? That's how it works? Or is it the... Or Season 2 stuff there right now? I think Season 2 stuff is there right now, right? Yeah, anything that past 2 seasons you can get in the Dispensary. You can't pull them, but you can get them with either Shards or Paid Lunacy. Everything there was an Inquisitor corroding with Nothing There's ego. It wasn't an aberration though, it was straight up Nothing There's ego as far as we can tell. Yeah, Season 1 and 2. Because I know life though. Who do I want to throw on? One of you two, probably. I don't do you enough. We'll throw you on, sure. Phalange and the other Fairy Avenues, they have the same number. It still literally makes no sense. Don't get me wrong. People think it's an error. I do honestly start to believe it's an error myself at this point because, like... But they haven't changed it yet, so I genuinely do not know. It's weird. Probably supposed to be like one off or something, if I had to guess. The are dispensable, just the IDs are going to be locked in the Shadow Realm for next season. No, Battle Pass egos aren't
이
dispensable.
방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
But egos specifically get on from the Battle Pass can only be gotten through Lunaseer shards, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. A boss system gets upgraded to plus plus. Yeah.
공격 능력
It's
평가?
so, like, funny.
양호. 지금은 기세를
If I were to
다시
get a buff, what do you
잡았군요.
think it would be?
위기에 강하다.
I know, the status effect itself shouldn't get a buff. I just think they need to do more unique stuff with it. Give us Stigma Workshop, make them have, you know, a status effect that goes alongside Burn. They could give us Burn Burst if they wanted to. I think that would be a little lame. Because it would just be Tremor Reverse type stuff at that rate. Wait, for real? Yeah. You cannot extract Battle Pass egos. Once again, I need someone else to confirm this because I've gotten every Battle Pass and I've maxed them all out, so I haven't had the chance to see that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. LCB Corp. Or new Lob Corp ego IDs from the new avenues. I hope we don't get many. I think that we should not get too many stuff like that. I think they're really cool, don't get me wrong. I think if we get many of them, it'll kind of it'll ruin kind of the magic, I think, of getting them. I think if we get them, like, infrequently, that would be cool. It's probably only going to be times when it's story relevant, though. I think MFE is kind of doomed. Maybe some other stuff, though.
적중에 정신 못 차리는 녀석이 있네.
처리해 볼까요? 인도적인 조치는 필요 없을 거예요.
Yeah, 9-2 Faust just turning Burn to defense all that. Yeah, stuff like that could happen. If they made it so Burn fluctuated more, that could be interesting. That's for sure. Like more stuff that gave, like more Burn infliction, but more like spending Burn immediately. Like, well, maybe if you can gain ability to like, spend Burn potency on the target to trigger Burn a couple times, something like that. Because it's really easy to build up potency and keep it high up. I think more things that reduce the potency and increase it could be interesting. Using all through 13 right now. You have a bit of single coin so you can get some of that 5% moment, yeah. That's how it feels. It looks like the new, it looks like Saint Otis will probably have a single coin skill 3. That'll be funny. Is Will Purchase a reoccurring thing? You thought it was a Halloween celebration fan or something. It's reoccurring. It's apparently happening quarterly, so every 3 months or so. Might be like more every 4 months or so if it's gonna be like seasonal though. We'll see. Well, Purchase Night itself, people seem to think that it's a Halloween thing. It takes, I'm pretty sure the actual like Walpurgis Night in like Germany, Walpurgis Not, is like March or something. It isn't a Halloween thing. We just thought it was though because it took place during Halloween, and that we knew it was going to since like the very like a very early like schedule. What do we get from next Mirror Dungeon? I wish Star Prophet. Oh yeah, Star Luminary. Oh! Here's Nebulizer guy. Nebulizer, I think. If I'm not mistaken, you can do this. We're getting Walper in unrelated season, or whether or not Walpurgis Night will be directly correlated with the Bamboo Kim event. It might be, it might not be. I think it would be a little weird if we physically saw someone and then got a mid-chapter based on them. But the mid-chapter, I mean, we do know that Walpurgis Nights are going to have story stuff, like their own like little like short story segments in the future. So maybe that's all the Kim mid-chapter is going to be. Maybe it's not going to be a proper mid-chapter. They made it sound like it was going to be like a proper mid-chapter though, with the whole, you know, like, oh, we're doing 2 mid-chapters each season, but no voice, just like make up for it. Better burn egos would help Burn a lot. I do not think we need more Burn egos. They're saying better though, which isn't more, yeah. I don't know. I don't think a stat effect should be dependent on egos. Looking at you thinking, Rhyme Shank is a little too powerful though. I don't want something to the power of Rhyme Shank for Burn. That would be a little too much, I think. First time you're hearing the Walpurgis Night is every 3 months. Yeah. Once again, as things are put into place, it's really easy to miss a lot of specific details. I've definitely missed a fair bit of things in the... I read patch notes relatively closely though. So I'm usually good at keeping track of those kinds of things. Burn defense egos, some of them are very good. Yeah. They're very good for building up burn, but they're not very good for, like... Or at the same time, they're not really good because they're just giving a bunch of burn potency. Or, like, a little bit of burn count, stuff like that. Burn needs something more. 9-2 Faust, if it was actually usable, like if it wasn't requiring gluttony, could be really interesting. A little bit more burn utility instead of just burn infliction, you know?
참, 이런 상황인데도 어떻게 끝이 보이네요. 조금만 더 해보죠.
Yeah, so the entire battle on fire, it's not enough burn. You can set the entire battle on fire already. There's like 10 burn egos. I think I'm underselling it as well. Like, there might be more than that. They're very good for damage, yes. They are. But they're very good for damage outside of burn. They're very good for damage, they're very good for burn, but they're not very good for the actual burn damage, I guess. I don't know, I might be phrasing this weird. What's the best stat at the moment? I've been using Tremor and everything. It depends. Charge is like the best overall, but in mirror dungeons, both Rupture is really good. Poise is really good recently. There's some burn gluttony somewhere if you're really looking, probably. Well, none of the burn identities in the game have any gluttony so far, so you'd have to look pretty hard. How much of the Kylot of Fury is going to get filtered by Rumina? Who knows? Who knows? Tremor is the worst overall. Absolutely, yeah. It's fun, though. It's getting some very interesting support, that's for sure. Burn's pretty bad right now, too. Bleed's in a decent spot. Bleed's not the most overpowered because it's kind of reliant on the enemy a little bit, but it's still pretty strong, that's for sure. It's pretty easy to build it up, especially with stuff like Wound Declared plus existing. There's not crit without poise. Yeah, there's no crit without poise. A little bit confusing to call it crit when it's not like an innate thing. But yeah, poise is the only way you can physically crit on anything. Yo, he grind. True. We be doing those mirror dungeons.
조금씩 나아가고 있네요. 계속 힘내주세요.
I'm trying to make Charm good, but instead of recent good ideas, instead of Tremor rather than good Tremor ideas. Exactly. Like, Molar Otis, insane damage output. Very good Tremor output, burst output, all things considered, but like that doesn't matter because Tremor needs something beyond that. Similar situation for like Regret Faust, like really strong identity for a lot of things. Her Tremor is decent, but it's not the notable thing about her because her damage is just better, her AoEs. What does Tremor do exactly? Tremor does nothing until you Tremor Burst someone, in which case it basically just it brings their stagger threshold closer to their actual like current HP value based on the Tremor potency. And Tremor count goes down every turn. Some Tremor Bursts also reduce Tremor count. It's definitely a rather like it's a semi-complicated stat effect for everything for what it is. I'm not bothering with you. Okay, that's cool though. We've got three tier 3s now. Okay, let's do it. Give me a random tier 4. Okay, this is one I already have. And yeah, we can show it here. You just physically can't put tier 4s in. Your enhance is also not like the best. You deal more damage against. I mean, you deal more damage against enemies with 0 or less SP. Does this work on abnormalities? If it does, I think abnormalities count as having 0 SP, right? Or does this just not trigger at all? Crit again, you deal 3% more damage to enemies with. Oh, here we go. Deal 50% more damage to enemies without sanity or ones with 0 or less SP. That'll do it. So 0 sanity does not count for abnormalities, but this makes you do 50% more damage to abnormalities. You know what? Why not? We'll also upgrade you for the joke. Artistic Sense plus amazing. I don't think I saw plus before. I saw Artistic Sense plus before. Yeah, that is very silly. It's not like great for the singing. The singing isn't like great against, but it's super good overall. which is funny. What do you gain? You just... I want to look. You current burn energy times 2.5. Yeah, that'd be cool if it wasn't capped at 99. If they just increased the burn cap, it would be really funny, but they really shouldn't do that. But it would be really funny. Distance plus with Rhyme Shank. Yeah, it can be good against enemies that are like resistant to gloom. That's the only situation in which it particularly helps.
제가 도움이
That's probably
될지.
weak to gloom. Stuff like the bull. How's this looking? That'll be fine, I think. We can ignore you. Here, some gifts just don't work when upgraded. What do you mean, don't work? Like, you're not feeling their upgraded effect? So that's definitely not good. Thinking always does something. Tremor can do nothing. Yeah. This thing just damages enemies. Exactly. It damages enemies without it. That's what it does. If Tremor dealt damage to enemies without, if it did like sloth damage, or if it just did damage in general against enemies without stagger bars, that would be pretty cool. It would just be like another damage healing stat effect, though. It would remove a lot of like the cool part factor to it. That's the one issue with that idea, but like, counterpoint is that it would be good in that situation, which is wrong thing. Which would be definitely pretty good. Rhyme Shank and Ishmael's Fire are the only free ones I have I use. Are the only non-free ones you have at the moment. Oh, you mean Ishmael Capote?
효과적이네요. 조금씩 나아갈
Okay.
텐데요. 계속 힘내주세요.
Definitely gonna want like I mean the best in / season 2, and you're unsure what egos to get. There's a couple of really obvious answers, namely Rhyme Shank is definitely one of the ones you're definitely gonna want. Rhyme Shank's really good. Fluid Sack is kind of stupid. Yisung's Sun Shower is really strong. What else is there? I think a lot of the other stuff from Season 2 isn't particularly beneficial. The Capotes are decent, but not like the strongest, though. You can roll 45 with Merso Capote. I'm going purely on like what's like really strong. Like the only Season 2 thing that's particularly notable is like Sun Shower for Yisung. Art of Blossom Star is very busted. Art of Blossom Star is not a Battle Pass ego, but it is one of the highest rolling egos in the game, that's for sure, which is really funny. Okay, catch breath that thing, then we'll hit you like a couple times. Make sure you get staggered and focus on killing those guys now. Sunshine is still strong. They're making it evolve. Yeah. How are you guys doing? Doing great. We're grinding. Carries burn by doing on-hit force of wildfire. Yeah. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool, like, burn tremor usage. Issue is, of course, that it's competing with Pursuance. So if we're looking at general use, it kind of gets overshadowed there. I'm talking about Arter, you were talking to Rocket. I usually stream every week or so at, like, this time. Usually Lobcorp. We finished Lobcorp. I'm gonna start Runa soon-ish. Probably like 2 weeks time I'll start Runa. I don't think I'm gonna stream next week because of the Christmas time. I think I'm gonna be busy. But I also do stream on Wednesdays when updates released. It depends on the update. I don't stream story updates, but I'll stream like notable updates. Like I'll stream this Wednesday probably when the update comes out from Mirror Dungeon 3 Hard. Because I mean, of course I gotta. Is Pursuance on Rodion worth? I haven't gotten too much usage out of it yet. It's hard for me to say. It seems good. It's definitely better than 4th Match Flame most of the time. 4th Match Flame is pretty good for being, you know, like a bunch of rats fragility, but Pursuance, yeah, another way to heal your sinners a bunch is really appreciated. Especially on DHC. Think more about the time of the, yeah, oh, time of day. It is usually this time of day, yeah. I'm usually semi-busy. Not really necessarily busy, but more so it's a lot less. This is the only time I'm consistently free. But A 5 a.m. Yeah. Time zones moment. Don't really accommodate for that in my stream time. Whoop. I don't think that's the solution.
부상 없이 나오는 게 최고야. 알지?
두드려 패고
You know, to each their own. I might do earlier streams sometime. Honestly, like later on into Rune, I might just start doing earlier streams simply just so I can get like a long stream going. But even then, it'll probably still start like midday-ish here, which is still late at night for, you know, people on the other side of the Atlantic. Going to uni in Finland. Nice. We're gonna get the burn ID first, and that chain might become a bit better. Yeah. If she gets something with like a stupid Wrath skill 3 beyond like Endcorp, because Endcorp skill 3 isn't like particularly insane, but if she gets something like that's really good for Wrath, then like it could be really insane to use Force Match Flame to stack a bunch of Wrath fragility, then burst down next turn. Wrath fragility is already really good because there are quite a few strong Wrath skill 3s. Looking at you, Sinclair. Chris Sinclair. All the Ego are free games to dispense, including the past Egos? Yeah. Yeah, they're exclusive to dispense. I was saying you can't extract them. I think I might have made a mistake in my wording at least at one point, but what I was saying is you can't get them through extraction. I'll get the coin. This is another tier 3.
탁월한 지휘였습니다.
Wasn't there a tier 3? I don't know if it is. I wish it was. I don't know if it is, because these two are both tier 3s. I might be able to get another... Let me look it up, actually. It's a tier 2, okay. So, looking at it, we have 2 tier 3s right now. If we get another tier 3, we could fuse another tier 4. So I'm gonna take this event here, because, like, what if? This is not a tier 3, unfortunately. Oh, we could fuse a tier 3 here, I think, though, because I think we've got enough tier 2s to do it. Kickroppong was actually one shot, I believe. Oh, yeah. If he takes too much damage at once and doesn't get low enough, he needs to be hit to trigger his passive, right? So bleed damage doesn't count. We've got these. That'll just be a tier 3, though. What if I throw in, like, these two? And, like, maybe, like, one of these new. One of these? That's a tier 3, okay. Give me a tier 3. Broken Compass, nice. We throw in these, and we're gonna get another tier 4. There we go. That's really good. Looking at my team, it's not that great. But we do have Nebulizer ++ already, so, a little bit good. This is one of the stupidest things in the game right now. I've got enough to upgrade it once. Okay, yeah, we can do this. It becomes a 2x crit multiplier now. Gains 12 offense level next turn if a critical hit can consume poise count. And if I could upgrade it again, increases critical hit damage multiplier from 1.2 to 2.5 times. It looks like Fish Bullet. Yeah. Rim. I definitely thought that at some point. As you can see, critical hit consume poise count of Ally gains 15 offense level next turn. Fun fact, 15 offense level up is approximately equal to 5 flash power up. And by approximately, I mean is. This is stupid, especially with Nebulizer. We've got a lot of crit potential already. We've got so few Eagle Gifts, but we have 2 tier 4s, so we're kind of set anyways. IDK if this works when upgraded. Oh? You think it's bugged? If so, it's a little unfortunate.
응원하면 수망이죠.
I don't really care about the crit damage up as much as I care about gaining a stupid amount of offense level up, though, so we'll see. That's what I care about. Yeah, there was a crit already, so we'll see.
양호.
We get a little silly in the mirror, like, we really do.
적확한
Do you think Mirror Dungeon 4 is gonna add plus plus plus? It's possible. What if they just start adding a new
저
plus every Mirror
부표처럼
Dungeon?
흔들리는 놈이 제 1,
Ooh.
사냥감이겠네요. 기습 준비중이었는데 내가 보이시오?
No, it doesn't look like it works. See. Critical change voice count. Ally gains 12 offense level up next turn. Where is your 12 offense level up?
내가 보이시오?
Doesn't look like you have your 12 offense level up. That is unfortunate. So it might actually be bugged right now, which is so sad because it's such a funny effect.
악인들을 해치우세나.
We should have got a bunch of offense. I mean, let's see. Maybe Dawn is going to clash exceptionally well here, and maybe the stat effect just isn't showing up. A lot of those buffs are hidden. That's true. It could be.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그
17.
공격이 약점이었겠죠?
Couldn't tell there. Okay, Hong Lu got a crit there.
저 부표처럼 흔들리는
Let's
놈이
see.
제
What if Hong Lu, like, Hong Lu's gonna clash here, he gets like it's a heat plus 6. So it should be obvious enough to tell if it gets the plus 5.
쉬시게.
Warp away. Nice.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을
20.
기억하는 게
No, that's what it was rolling anyways, right?
다시 복구하긴 힘들 거야.
Yeah.
완전히 녹아내렸네.
I don't know, I think this does seem bugged. If you don't upgrade it, it shows, so no. Okay. So by uptying it, we've made it so we literally get no effect from that. Or not by uptying, by upgrading it. That is unfortunate. Free lunacy, true. Even if 12 offense level is enough that I would have been able to tell if it was actually going off there. So yeah, it seems like it's bugged. So sad. At least it's added to the compendium now. That's kind of what I was hoping. That's kind of what I mainly am going for with these tier 4s. It's not worth dispensing. It looks cool, but is it useful? It is. It's actually kind of super good in certain teams, like especially NV teams, like they're on like LCR Faust, get a little bit of haste going. Like, pretty good. That's for sure. It can be meta, I think, for Refractory 3, like, or Refractory 2, like, really low times, because of the fact that, you pair it with Rabbit Heathcliff, and you, like, win, you know? Yeah, Hexo said if you go 3 Pierce for Agility and 1 Envy for Agility, or vice versa, 3 Envy for Agility and 1 Pierce for Agility if you Corrosion. It's definitely worth it for time. Especially given how good Envy is right now. If there was ever a time for it to be good, we are kind of in the time for it to be good, you know? Where the boy's going? Yeah, okay. Get him back up. Saka's, I mean, yeah, Saka's a he. Hexnail is also not a battle pass ego though, so you can actually pull that. It's probably, if you're missing stuff, if you're missing battle pass stuff, it's probably better use like shards on like the good battle pass things, such as Fluid Sac, because you could just pull you could pull just Hexnail sooner or later. You win with anything with Rabbit Heath, to be honest, yeah, but you can make him win even harder with Hex. Of course, because he really needs it, you know. Let's do this so we can get the pride going again. They're being targeted a wee bit. Good. That's how we'd like to see it. And we're kind of winning clashes this turn, nice. Argument made getting by prioritizing Sack over Sun Shower. That's true. I guess one thing to note, we don't know if mobs are gonna cost more shards though. So far, all Egos have cost the same, but like, who knows? So there is an argument to get. I mean, you kind of want Sunshower right now so that you can up high it before it gets turned to evolve, because you save a little bit of resources if you can get it to up high for right now, because its cost is increasing as far as like up high stuff goes. Its actual like guard cost for like buying it won't change. Viabilities cost more to upgrade. That's the thing. So you probably, if you have enough stuff to like actually like up high it, you might want to do that before the update comes out.
힘내세요.
We can overbreed that. I think we can just stagger you here, right? It looks like you're close enough to being staggered that we don't need to clash this turn. I may be like horribly wrong and about to die, but if so, it's funny. I got nerfed. It's next week. It's becoming evolved. If that's what you're asking. The nerf was fixing the silly damage bug. Oh yeah, that was so insane. I remember it was doing like 1,000 damage like consistently when it first released because of the fact that sloth damage up was actually doubling damage instead of increasing. It was doing it 100% additional damage instead of 10% additional. Very silly bug, that's for sure. Very silly. Yeah, no, that was fine, but I assume we'll be talking about like the switch stuff. Problem with these songs is his egos are Wishing, Karen, or Dimension Shredder. They're both decent. Both of those are like pretty decent egos. That's the thing. Like they're nothing insane, of course. But they're not bad either. Let's get more pride games so we can get more poise. Yeah, let's go. First Sunshine hasn't impressed you yet. I think you need. I mean, it's one of those egos that you just spam it and you win. Like sloth damage up to all allies, protection, 3 protection to all allies upon using an ego for this turn and next turn is insane for harder fights. Just taking less damage. Like on top of the fact that it'll increase damage, if you actually land a heads on Sunshower, it fully refunds its Sandy, assuming you hit at least 3 targets. Oh yeah, and Spice Bush passive just buffs the damage for Sunshower even more. You're at 90 HP. Good to see. Because we're gonna kill you. It's that easy. Just going for the teleport. This means we get like the shock, right? Yeah. Not that it really matters. That's just like rupture if we get hit or something, right? I think so. Sunshine and other egos. Other egos help you win. Harder Sunshine just makes you win. It's really funny. Is Topazos Master the best base ego? No, I would not say so. Is it really good? Yes. It doesn't have a lot of utility. It's like, usually its resources turn out pretty well. Like Lust and Pride, usually you've got a fair bit of that, you'd assume. Body Sack is good. Force for the Flames is really good. For, you know, the fragility. Legerdemain isn't a base ego, it's a Zayn. So, yeah, it's a little different. That one does. A branch of knowledge because 12 Rupture is kind of insane. As far as, like, Rupture Infliction goes, not as meaningful now that it's a lot easier to build up Rupture in this Mirror Dungeon. We're not going to take on opposed attack, this will be fine. Compass and the Bell, wow. Chains of Others is really good, too, for, like, debuffing enemies. That's really good in, like, story stuff, especially. For just weakening bosses, you can spam it, you can build up resources, and then just spam Chains of Others, and then, like, that boss can do nothing. Especially human bosses that only have, like, one body part, they're just kind of doomed. Yeah, Leger's definitely a very strong Zayn. I think Sangre de Sancho is probably the worst Zayn ego, simply because it always rolls tails. Representation Emitter is still really good. That's true. It's no Fluid Sac, but it also costs different resources than Fluid Sac and can work as a backup Fluid Sac. And Pride and Gluttony are some things you sometimes have a frequent amount of. Gluttony can be hard with certain teams, but chances are you'll have something with Gluttony going. We'll throw in Sunshower here for the joke. We're also going to use it twice because we have the coin, so... Oh no, we got rid of the coin. We're going to use it one time. I hope Sinclair was running for the best ID.
스며들 듯한 비.
They nerfed representation emitter. Yes. It's still good sanity, though. That's for sure. If you need sanity for any reason, it's still decent. There are times in which you need sanity, especially if you're spamming ego gifts against something like bull or something. So it can be good there. I removed the funny passive. The funny passive was funny, that's true.
공격 능력 평가?
But it's still good.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
Oh, Crow's Eye View is also insane, because the haste is so good. Techwad Cliff, really fun unit. Get to 1% HP, deal 99% more damage, profit. Ooh. Okay, without a doubt, this is going to be an Aleph Ego, and Ryoshu is getting it for her chapter. I think there's like no chance this isn't what's going to happen for her. Because like in the actual Tokyo Game Show trailer, we do see her like physically like tied up in like the red ribbon of fate type deal. I feel like Ryoshu's definitely getting this as like an Aleph or something. This is what gives Grand Welcome, by the way. This is the one that gives a bunch of level. I think if we do change its level, bandages, we get the gift. Right? Okay, you got this. Why do you think this will be an Aleph? I don't know, giving me like Scarlet King vibes, IDK. It also gives you Grand Welcome, which is funny. And besides, it doesn't need to be an Aleph to give an Aleph Ego. It probably will be, though. Either that or it'll be Evolve. We'll see. I think there's a decent chance it will be that. That's my personal theory. Okay, so fun fact. This is the only Abno event in the game where there's 2 different Ego gifts you can get. They'll sync together and you get the lamp, like the Rupture gift from this guy. Fix the energy's fluorescent lights, and you get the Endorphin gift, the Poise gift from this guy. Green Baron Current, yep, there he is. I'm taking there's no way I'm not taking the Poise gift, though. It's just too perfect for our current build, even if, you know, our Tier 4 is bugged and not doing anything. You think on Ham's doing his schedule. He looked pretty powerful. His skill 2, he's got a 5-point skill 2 if you keep on getting crits, which is kind of stupid. It's kind of hard to build up the poise on him without, say, Ego Gift, so outside of Mirror Dungeon it's not the best, but you can kind of get super amounts of poise, spam his skill 2, and profit. What I'm saying is fine. King from SCP. Is that Scarlet? I don't remember SCP lore. Is that the Scarlet King or whatever? What's the difference? Is it a different thing? No, the Hang King is different. Interesting. I don't remember my SCP lore at this point. I'm back. What is bugged? Fun fact, if you up-tie Clear Mirror Calm Water at all, it does nothing. If it's apparently if it's at its base form, it still works, but if you upgrade it at all, it just loses its effect, which is really sad. I've been mixing up Scarlet King and Hang King then. I remember. Curious, how come Freddy Moon never had a theme based on the Arcana? People do theorize that we are getting a theme on the Arcana because of the, Which one is it? I forget which one. I've seen theories about us getting Arcana type stuff. Did you check the offense level of your skills directly? Yes. It was not working. But apparently, if it is... Cauliflower is saying that apparently if it is unupgraded, you do see the effect physically trigger, and we do not see the effect trigger. And you can tell because it is a +4 clash power if you got a crit the previous turn. You'll know. You'll definitely know. The damage seems better, but IDK. Yeah, the damage might be still working.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠? 전술적으로 불리한 판단일 텐데요.
It Queenie was not the least that magical go from her. That makes it the perfect April Fool's ego from her, so though. You know
계속
it.
힘내주세요.
You know it.
적출할게요. 그래, 얘는 처리했고.
Probably at night, who knows? He's still very...
적확한 한압이었어.
지금은
Grecian.
기세를 다시 잡았군요.
뭐 위기에 강하다 그런 거야.
Games based on King and Lovecraft myth.
너냐?
Lovecraft also not a thing I'm very familiar with. Oh well.
처리했어.
I knew the lore is a little bit of a conflicting statement, given how the SCP lore is the fact that the lore is, you know, inconsistent. It might work if you fully upgrade it. That's true. I wish I had enough cost to do that. Unfortunately, I was broke, and Tier 4 has cost so much to upgrade. Can you upgrade Lunar Memory, by the way? I assume not, but it would be really funny if you could. The one time I got Lunar Memory was in the very final shop on this floor, so I did not get the chance to see. That would be such a funny thing, though. Surely not, though, but what if we ever changed all resistance to 2.5? What are even the chances of getting a tier 5 gift before, like, earlier in the run? Sure, it's, like, almost nothing, right? I think I got it once in, like, Mirror Dungeon 2, hard, like, getting Lunar Memory on, like, the fourth floor, I think. Third, something like that. I don't know if it's still possible, though. You can't? Good to know. It makes a lot of sense. It would be a little bit strange. A little bit. We'll roll with that. Let's see, what do we want? Is there any more poison stuff we're missing? Pendant? Sure. Heathcliff. Change skills, potentially. I already have charge-type gloves, I don't particularly need it. Up and grab the coin! And we can also grab the blood, sweat, and tears. This is gonna be so stupid of a fight. Who is it? Okay, it's either Chrome or it's Very Long Legs again. Paralysis makes the game lighter your chances. Yep. It's also very good, though.
걱정 마시오.
Point gaming, you know what? Might as well.
남아있다면 생명은 어떻게
You guys resist
보존될 테니.
Pierce. That is true. Counterpoint, we are using it twice, and these guys will die. Yes, SAP people are so confusing. Yeah, it's because it's written by like a lot of people. That's kind of that's the confusingness is part of the beauty of it, though. The fact that like anyone can contribute. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. If your work's not good, it will get taken down, though. They've got like writing forums and stuff like that for that, though. Tails. Oops. Still finished Damien. Yeah, it's a book. Very interesting book, that's for sure. It makes me wonder a lot about what's going to happen in Sinclair's future, because his story is far from done. That's obvious enough without knowing the context behind the actual book itself, but the book definitely makes it very clear when, you know, Cromer is only present like the first quarter or something. Is this a poise team? It may not look like it, but it is. Because, we've got Nebulizer. So, you know, we get stupid amounts of poise. And we also have, the Miracle Water is 2 times instead of 1.2 times. And we gain 12 offense all up, aka 4 Clash Power up and like a decent chunk of damage up whenever we get a crit. Once per turn. So we use Nebulizer to gain stupid amounts of poise, and then we kill with that. Unfortunately, Clear Miracle Water, little bugged right now. So it's only semi-working? I don't know. I don't know if it's working at all. Sure, we're doing a lot of damage, but also... We do just have we've got a straight 50% damage multiplier thanks to Artistic Sense. Do 50% more damage to enemies without Sanity or ones with 0 or less SP. So we just do 50% more damage most of the time. We also do 15% more damage with single targets to the Phantom Pain. So I don't even think it's the crits are doing more damage than normal. I think we're just doing a lot of damage in general. Any team is poised. With Nebulizer ++, every team is a poised team. As long as you have a little bit of pride, you can maintain it very well.
좋아, 계속 집중하지.
Okay, let's see. Who's it gonna be?
투입합니다.
Is it time to get stuck between two worlds, or are we fighting the fairy again?
오케이. 작전 지역 진입 확인했어.
네, 입감 양호합니다.
Time of the year. A very so merry night we will be. Gaming. Yeah, we're going to crate you to death. You are gonna wish you had Sandy by the time we're done with you. You're gonna wish you could go insane. You're gonna wish you could go sane. Any other bug eagle gifts besides this one? I've heard that apparently some other eagle gifts might not work when uptide. It's specifically like an issue when uptide, from what I can tell. From when upgraded, like some egos just gifts are just programmed so they do not work properly when upgraded. It's hard to tell a lot of this kind of thing. You want to take this? Yeah, you can take that. Sure. If only we could be forever naive and pure. Still haven't gotten over the nerf on floor 4. Yeah, fair enough. They may have overdone it a little bit with the nerf, but we're going to get mirrored on 3 hard. I think this one shouldn't be too difficult. I think the difficulty right now makes enough sense. And hopefully we're going to get what we're looking for from Mirror Dungeon 3 hard. The pendant, maybe? Like a Dark World version more. Oh yeah, absolutely. This one still is nice. It's very, like, off-putting with its, like, serene nature, I feel. It's very religious type, like hymn type thing, which fits Gromer very well. And then, once you beat first phase, then, the real fun starts, so it starts playing the banger music. Oh yeah, the grinding especially. Okay. That was a 2-turn. Imagine if this eagle gift was actually working. Maybe it is. Maybe there's something weird going on. Who can say? Yeah, they would not hit same without the other. Yeah. World evil started in my very own house, whatever the quote is. What was I checking? Oh yeah, special contract kind of made that really silly. Okay, we need to get our pride stuff going. You've been staggered this turn, all according to plan, though. This one just has, yeah, it just has 2 weight, that's fine. We're mainly doing it so that we can get the nebulizer to trigger again, keep our poise up. We're not going to clash spell against everything else. Honestly, what if we just let Dawn die? The Maw's, like, resistances are insane right now, though. We need to wait for it to get reduced. That's not actually insane. I thought the Maw's resistances were better than that. That's fine, then. We're recruiting a little bit now, that's for sure. They're nerf hard mode too. Yeah. I don't think they've got a reason to, that's the thing. Like, the nerfs to, like, the main story, the Canto 5 dungeon, made enough sense because, like, people were just genuinely unable to beat it with their team loadouts or something. I still haven't actually seen that in action. It just sounds like a reasonable enough thing to happen. You do, like, no damage. I know it's because Dawn resists Lust, but still, that was kind of pathetic, Romer. You're trying to kill Hong Lu now. We're going to stagger this part, and you're not going to get the chance to. So, enjoy, I guess. But yeah, you've got your funny status effect now, ecstatic. We're doing good. She's dreaming human wholeness because she's getting shredded by my team. Even your unclashable 50% skills. I don't know, I think the fault lies with you, Ishmael.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을
The
기억하는
fault
게
lies with
좋겠어요.
you, Ishmael. You decided to go into the main story dungeon using Slosh Mill against all odds. I guess in that situation, the fault really does lie with you. Slosh Mill is Slosh Mill's weak to Pierce, I presume. I presume that's just death.
부입하게.
I mean, you just have other people clash, though. That's the thing. It's fully up to you who actually, like, clashes and gets marked by Ahab. You can't just sacrifice people off if you need to. I think that happened in my fight against her. You had to restart the... Oh. See. Deserved. Mostly going for D-Thing, and you're going a little bit for Otis, but like, we're going full Ahab mode and we're just spamming unclashable stuff on you. And we're getting a couple 50 poise on Ryoshu thanks to using your ego a couple times. If you sacrifice everyone, you lose, no. Just... By the time you sacrifice everyone, surely you should have at least killed, like... You should really have killed Starbuck by turn, like, 5 or something. Like, he's... Or at least staggered him. Like, he's very, like... You should have at least staggered him by that point, surely. You just gotta kill, you just gotta outdamage them at a certain point, which is basically every fight in the game when you really think about it. Is Slosh Mill bad? Slosh Mill and Gunnish Mill are the only ideas you have for her at the moment. Yeah, Slosh Mill is pretty bad. You're honestly better off using what she's supposed to do. She could benefit from more speed. And the fact that she's a Rupture unit, but only with her skill 3, and a Tremor unit, but her Burst Tremor is not that great because it's the skill 3. Those are two. Queequeg refused to die. Didn't realize that beating Ahab would end the fight. Yeah. I think I just took down Queequeg. Just the revival thing is so stupid. That 400 Stardust though, or Starlight though. I mean, we're already at a pretty good start. See anything funny going on here? Another tier 3 there. We won't get as much toss. We won't get as much funny Starlight if we just go for the same buff again though. And the trio fight, but you couldn't beat Gas Harpoon before the patch. Yeah, unfortunately. The patch happened in between when I fought Trio and Gas Harpoon, so I fought Gas Harpoon nerfed, so I never got to fight the pre-nerf Gas Harpoon, but I did beat that first try, so I'm a gamer. But disappointing more so than bad, yeah. Time to sail away. Good night, mateys. What gifts are we missing right now? I mean, let's see. Out of all these, the ones that I'm missing here is Downpour, Thrill, I always forget the name of the Mirror Fragments, and the other new paper one. These are the 4 that are in the game right now, but I'm still missing. The rest of these shadows are ones just physically not in the game right now. Nixie Divergence, Standard Duty Battery, Dust to Dust, and Midwinter Nightmare were the gifts we had before, but they've been locked away behind next week's update. And then everything from this weird little, like, mask thing onwards, are ones that are new. Some of these are from Fusion, some of these are, like, normal-ish egos that'll be added. Decent chance these are all going to be, like, tier 3s, though, I think. There's kind of a lack of tier 3s so far. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, all of these, like, were tier 3s, and, like, most of these are going to be tier 4s, I presume. Apparently they're really stupid, we'll have to see. But I think some of these are tier 3s. The ones that aren't, like, Fusion required, like stuff like this and this. I knew someone who can't get staggered and has 2k HP. Get better, I think. In all honesty, if it's that bad, you can just kill Ahab. Yeah, they've been leaked already, effectively. I do not know what they do yet. I just know they're incredibly stupid. I'd rather not know until then, though, because that'll be really funny. Next Thursday. Or, yeah, next Wednesday. Depending on your time zone. It's next week. Whenever the normal weekly update is, that's when the next one is. Also, let me see if I can... Let me check something real quick. Yeah, time zone. When will Hard Mirror Dungeon? Yeah, Hard Mirror Dungeon is next update. Whenever the update is for you, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, the usual time. Just doing the funny thing again. You think you're so funny. Okay, but, how do I do this? Okay, I'm gonna do this now. So, part of the plan is, in 2 weeks from now, Ruina Stream will start. Okay? So I've prepared the form. The form for submitting librarians. So, I'm currently in the process of grabbing that. So if you want to submit your own, librarian for the sake of, that, there's the form. I'll make sure, I'll put it in, like, the description, I think. I'll add it to the description of, like, future videos or something. There's a lot of options there. You can put in, your, like, appearance stuff. If you want, modded skins, you can do that, and I'm assuming it's logical, I can do that. I'll install them. You can do any battle symbols you want. I've installed the mod for, giving me all battle symbols, so if you want anything for, like, cosmetics, you can do that. Like the battle quotes. If you have your own custom deck you want to try, if it's, like, awful or something, I've included a section for that. Of course, like the usual rules, make sure the only things that are required are your YouTube username and the name for the librarian, 1 per person, and of course, to keep in mind, Ruina, there's only 40 slots open. Some of these are going to be going to the goats from, the LobCorp playthrough, of course. The stuff your librarian says, yes. There's multiple pages to the form. So that's, like, on the 2nd page, I think. I just did that for, like, the sake of, for the sake of, like, keeping things clean. Section 3, the 3rd page you can make your own deck, and on the 4th page you can leave any other notes you have. Maybe I should have just made it one thing. I wanted to sort it into different sides, though. Maybe I should not do it like that, though. Try changing that around, maybe. Who are the so-called goats? Mainly the Aleph ones. Like Bong Bong, of course, anyone who is most likely... Yeah, Melon, of course, is an obvious one. We'll see. Once again, some people are gonna have preset slots, and for everyone else, it's gonna be, the wheel. Gotta bring back the wheel, of course. That's the plan, at least. And of course, for other things, no, I'll stream when Mirror Dungeon 3 hard releases this week. Look forward to that. Of course, I'll stream as soon as it releases on whatever time the update comes out. Probably gonna end the stream here for now. Relatively short stream, just got a couple of runs in. Nothing, like, too insane. We got a little more starlight. The wheel decides, after all. Indeed, we all praise the wheel. Gambling's good. Yeah. Good night. So feel free to join me for Mirror Dungeon 3 Hard. I'm sure that's going to be something special. We're going to have to see just what that has. There were no new avenues in Mirror Dungeon 3 Normal. Maybe they will do in Mirror Dungeon 3 Hard. Sounds good. Looking forward to ruin it. Yeah. It'll definitely be fun. Whoops, I accidentally closed out of OBS instead of Limbus. That would have shut the stream down immediately without any, more further thought. Yeah, I do think that will be all for this time, though. Thank you all for being here for my little grind session. I kind of planned this before I realized that I was going to fully complete the Stardust or the Starlight tree before the stream even started. I don't think I was expecting to grind it as hard as I did. It took me a few weeks for Mirror Dungeon 2. But that's also because there's still stuff on the tree that isn't quite there yet. A good night, gamers. I'll see you all next time. We'll add some railway weapons to Mirror Dungeon 3 Hard, almost certainly. And hopefully some main story stuff too. But yeah, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.